Hello, ladies and gentlemen, back again. Now time to have some fun, or we'll try to have some fun. Hopefully, everything's loud and clear on your end, because I can't do a preview because YouTube started tripping again. That rhymes. I wanted to take a moment and play this game for you and talk you through where I found it, what it's about, because I think it's fun. But also I like the project and I like the people, and I see that they're doing what they're doing. And they had a really hard time recently. I was not compensated by them. Haven't even talked to them since the first time. So this project's named ParabolicToken. That was the original source project behind this. ParabolicToken originated on the Binance Smart Chain. I'm pretty sure that's true. They since extended to Ethereum, AVAX, Phantom, Matic, and Polygon. Matic, right? And when I first stumbled across it, I'm pretty sure it was December. This launched in September. I think I stumbled across it in December. Pretty sure it was PooCoin. And I was stunned to see that its graph was not hardly moving. And I wanted to learn a little bit more about this project and what was going on. This, for those on the podcast side, this is that project that I arguably said had the best white paper in the business. Best, bar none, white paper in the business. Nobody was able to touch this guy's white paper for nothing. I'm telling you, it was amazing. This is the V1. They've since gone to a V2, and it all ties to the story. So when I stumbled across this and I saw the low volume, only way to reach them at the time was Telescam. So I went to Telescam, talked to the mods, talked to some of the people. There were a couple of the you're a G type kids in there, but the admins, really nice people. The token people were really nice people, really easy to get along with. And they basically explained that they had launched it with one vision, and then they decided to back off until they had the game done. And then once the game was done, they would ramp up their marketing. So they hadn't done any marketing. They kind of just sat on it, went radio silent. So as a result, the token was declining over time. It did the initial pump, and then it went down. They launched the V2 early in 2022, and they dropped everybody that had the tokens. They also launched the two other projects. One of them is basically a music label called Mind Music. And then there's other tokens, 2 tokens in this ecosystem. There's 4 tokens in the ecosystem. The site, they've changed it all around. So now they've got faces, they've got names on there. One of them has a LinkedIn account. And then you have all these networks that they were put on for the Parabolic token. Plus they built a bridge, they built a staking tool, and then this game. And so I'm watching them, and it's like Everrise all over again, in the sense that they were actively building and never really sought out the hype and the pumps and all that stuff. They never really sought any of that out. They actually went after, in my opinion, the fundamentals first, get some fundamentals, and then start an aggressive push. But even now, they haven't really gone too aggressive. So if you look at their numbers, they don't look that great. Like the market cap's low. Even though it's a V2, that's to be expected, but it only has 2,000 holders. The liquidity pool's low. But when you looked at their site, and I challenge you to take a look at it, ParabolicToken.com. The site address, just take off the word game on the top of my screen up there. ParabolicToken.com is the site. Check out what they've got going on there, and then pull them up if you want on PooCoin or Dex Tools or something. You'll see the numbers don't seem to look pretty, but on their site, they got all these utilities, and everything is professional in what it's built doing. So I've always kind of had this special place in my heart for these guys because they're the core definition of an underdog. I will argue, I'm not really sure of their vision, and it's never been made clear to me. And I've always tried to mention them on social media, and they never responded. So this is my attempt to kind of introduce you to the game, but also give a high-level refresh on the project and how I found them and what it's all about. And hopefully the game is appealing to some people. Take a look at it, because again, it's on every network. A lot of the main networks. So if you don't like Binance, which I don't blame you, you have multiple choices to do that if you choose to buy in. But if you do decide to buy into the project, just be aware it's a long play, guaranteed long play. There are some fundamental things you need to know about the token, Parabolic token. I'm only talking about Parabolic, not the others in the ecosystem. This one, besides having the best white paper in the business, is one of the few tokens that actually does a burn. So it doesn't do the send to the dead wallet garbage. It actually does a burn. You can see on the blockchain that it actually does a burn tokens function that literally removes the tokens from the supply. So that's why it says parabolic, is that it's built to eventually go parabolic in the way they created it. Of course, the volume's low and the liquidity pool is somewhat lowish because the volume is low. And because they never did aggressive marketing push, as holders, and there's like 2,000 of them, they've never been able to realize the significance of the burn. But you can see it. You can see that the supply is actually decreasing, which is different than something like SHIB, where you don't see it actively decreasing because they're not really doing a true burn. So that caught my eye when I saw that, and that's why I've always said, I think there's something here. They don't do reflections because they don't need to. Everything is built to support liquidity pools for the game, liquidity pools for the migration from V1 to V2, liquidity pools for each of the different chains. The chains are all pegged, so it's one contract for all chains. There's just a professionalism that stands out in a crowd with these guys. As a result, I decided to dig into the game because this was, of course, the reason that they held off for diving into marketing was the game. Well, now that the game's out, I wanted to take a look and see, okay, what is this thing all about? The game is basically emulating, and I'm going to describe it in my words, not theirs. And if any of them listen to this, feel free. I want the smoke. I would love to have you on the show and talk to me. I'm asking you to talk to me. This game emulates, again, in my words, it emulates what would happen if you bought in a pre-sale. And the reason I say it that way is because of the way the mechanics work. Let me talk you through the game, and then it'll make sense. On the upper left, where it says upcoming launches, these are fake projects. They don't exist. None of this is real. It's fake. And what they're doing is basically a procedural generation. So it makes up names of a project, and they're telling you, here's the name of the project that's coming. And the reason I say it's like a pre-sale is because when you place a bet, your bet only takes effect before the launch of the project. So you can place a bet now, and we'll get to that. But you can place a bet now, but it's only going to actually take effect before the project actually starts, before the chart actually moves. So you can't place a bet like when it first starts. So like if you're Bleaves, if Bleaves is listening to this, you can't use your brilliance of evaluating the chart to know if it's going to start pumping or if it's going to crap. You got to actually just, again, assume it's a pre-sale, and with you're just taking the risk on the chin. And it's kind of assumptive because it's based on the name, based on a little bit of the graph. I'll get to that in a second, and other things. On the right, Biggest Gainers tells you in past projects what was the highest that it was able to make. So Paraforge Buddha, basically if you had bought into it and you were smart enough to wait it out to its full course, you would have got your money back and 10x from whatever that is. Now, when we say 10x from whatever it is, and you see bet and all these numbers and everything, these are actually parabolic tokens that you're wagering. So you buy Parabolic at whatever exchange, which I recommend is either Binance or Phantom or something. But you buy, I'm pretty sure this might only be Binance, in fact. You buy your Parabolic token in your wallet, whichever wallet you're going to use. After you buy it, you come to the game, and the game, FYI, only works on a mobile. It doesn't work on a computer. So you're like, well, Lester, you got it on screen? Do. Yeah, and it took a lot to get the dang thing to work because Samsung DeX doesn't work the way it used to do back in my day. And I wasn't going to pay for AirDroid, and there was no other way to get it. So I'm doing some magic trickery. Remember, I got a technical degree, but I'm doing some magical trickery to get this shown on the screen for you that other layman people probably will be able to do. But this requires your phone or your tablet. You cannot do it on the computer. The Wallet Connect doesn't work. So you have to be on your device, your mobile device, to connect your wallet. After you connect your wallet, it'll detect what you have in terms of your Parabolic token. You can then change the account name. So like mine says CTR up there. So you can change the name from the wallet address to a friendly name. The main reason you would do so, there's a chat function, expand the chat, off to the left, where you can chat with other people that happen to have been playing the game. Now, I warn you that the number of people actively playing the game is low right now. As you can tell on the right here where it says all bets, that's how many people have just placed a bet on this run here, Golden Wolf Effect. And it's one person. You'll see another account, his name's Chris, showing up all the freaking time with an ungodly amount of Parabolic tokens. These are real tokens he's trading, real tokens you're trading. When you attach your wallet, the next thing that you'll do is you will deposit tokens into the game account. So this isn't taking straight from your wallet. You have to actually make a deposit into your game account. That's what's actually going to be depleted as you play the game. For the purposes of this exercise, I've tossed just 500,000 Parabolic into my wallet. So we're going to go ahead now and we're going to wait till after this round, affect Para. And I wanted to show you, so see, he just lost pretty much all that. He lost it all. And he placed another bet for the same amount. So he's a whale. And he don't care if he lost it all. Now watch this one. So now if you look at the graph, it's going to go one of two directions. I'm going to talk it out and then I'll place a bet. Your job is to make money and not lose money. It's that simple. There are two ways to do this. The graph, because again, it's like a pre-sale. So you don't know if it's going to rug pull, like literally go and bust immediately, or it's going to do-da-boo, did smoke and go. Like this one's starting to jump a little bit, or trade sideways. Like this one again eventually started to do. You never know. You can't know. Like it's like this weird roller coaster ride where you can't tell what's going to happen with this dude. So down at the bottom, you can take profits, 25%, 50%, 75%, or 100%, just cash out. And it's up to you. And what you're trying to do is mitigate your risk. So like he got his money back at about 28% in profit over top of it based on the bet. And then this round, he didn't place a bet. So now this project, if you watch this one, and then we'll go ahead and place our bet here, crapped out. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to place a bet. And we're going to place a bet of $1,000. It looks like I missed it. So this will take place on the next go round, which is fine because this one's probably going to go crazy to like 3 and then crap is my guess. What's the name of this project? Flex Power Sheet. Yeah, probably about 3 and then it'll crap. That's my guess. That's my assumption. We'll see how good I am at predicting the pattern of where it goes. So 349. All right, so went to 4, bastard. Now the other thing you got to watch out for, if it climbs too much, so there's a timer. After a point of climbing or sideways trading, it'll bust too. So you do have to act. You can't just let it go to the moon and then take the max. I'm pretty sure it wants you to cash something. So you also have to time the up, the top, and you have to time to prevent a rug pull or just that it trades sideways and then it craps. You got to time it and they want you to take some profit of some kind. You can't just let it ride like people are doing with Luna. It wants you to cash out at some point, which in some ways is probably good training, right? For people to make sure that you're taking profits on the way up and not leaving it in there. Notice how it says at the bottom, cancel next round. What it's saying is I can cancel the bet at this point because the next round hasn't started. If I don't cancel, it'll take effect when the next round starts. And this bastard went to 5 and coming close on, okay, what's the 6? So if I had done this one and I cashed it out smartly, I probably could have got 6,000 tokens off it, which again, this, I'm not worried about the number of tokens I put in this for the purpose of the game. It's just to show what it is because I know I can play the game and make mine back plus some. If I really want to, I could just simply YOLO because it's 500,000 and I'm not worried about it. Like the amount of money we're talking is like 50 cents. So I'm not too much worried about YOLO, but I chose a smallish number to make it easy to know what's going on. So now my bet should go up. It should. There's my bet off to the right for 1,000. Now Atom multi-coin, I'm going to guess it's probably going to go to the moon. I'm going to guess that. We're going to see. Now at this point, I can choose to do 25, 50%. So I can do like 25% profit. So if I do that, cash out, and you notice at the top, it cashed out $500. And it's kind of crapping a little bit. It's kind of crapping a little bit more. I'll cash another 25%. I'll cash another 50. So I still got a little bit in there. And then it crapped. So I still made a profit of 192.50. See that? Because I was smart enough to gauge it on the way down. Like, okay, I'm like, okay, this guy's going to crap at some point. I thought it might go to the moon, but it didn't. Now for this next one, let's get a little bit fancy. I'm going to put 25,000 on it. There's my bet. Enter Diamond Emu. is probably going to go, it's probably a pump and dump. It's my guess. So let's see how high this guy goes. So already he's crapping. And crapped out. So I lose that 25,000. That's okay. I'm going to bet another 25,000. Try to. There we go. There's my 25. Ghost Turbo Shiba should go to the moon. It should, because it's turbo, right? Should go to the moon. But who knows? And it craps out. And that's cool. So let me bet another 25. Because like I said, it's throwaway money. It seems like a lot, but trust me, that 500,000 is like 50 cents. Trust me, I'm not worried about it. Rug pull. Oh, nope. Nope. It's like, let's see. It's kind of like Saitama. Let's see here. There we go. Crap out. All right. Let's bet another 25. Doge Blast Protocol is probably to the moon because it says protocol. Most protocol tokens are pump and dumps. Generally speaking, real world and otherwise. But let's see. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it craps out. There we go. To the moon, let's fucking go. To the fucking moon. Now at this point, I'm going to take 50. So there's my 24.5. So I'm basically at net zero, essentially, with a little bit out, and then I'll cash out the rest. So I got 60. So based off, what I got back, I got a profit over top of it. So I basically made back some of the money I lost in the last run. Now, here's the flip on this is you watch the graph to see, because sometimes it'll go to 2 and all of a sudden it's going to the moon to like 8 or something. You're like, fuck. That's fine. For me, I don't mind. I don't mind it because it's not a significant amount of para. I'm not too much worried about it, but yeah, see this business? So this will frustrate you too, because you're like, okay, it looks like it's about to crap, and then all of a sudden it's like, let's fucking go to the fucking moon, and then you had already cashed out. So you don't have any money left, so you can't do anything. And you just have to watch the freaking thing go to the moon because it's already taken off without you, and you're left on Earth. So we'll see. Now I wanted to crap at the top so you can see what that looks like, and then I'll do one more bet, and then I want to explain one other mechanic, and then we'll wrap up. But let's let it crap at the top. Come on, crap at the top, crap at the top, crap at the top. Crap at the top. Ah, you bastard. Look at that. Look at that. A whole lot of buy pressure on this one. That's nuts. It's gonna crap at the top here soon. Crap at the top simply means that at some point it times out. So again, it wants you to have cashed out at some point, and if you wait too long, okay, I think it crapped out. Yeah, it crapped out at 479. So you would have lost if you didn't cash out before that, I'm pretty sure. Ghost Parabolic is probably a rug pull. Probably is. Yep. All right. So I'm not going to do any more bets. It doesn't really matter. I still got some in there. And like I said, it's only like 50 cents worth of bets. But 2 points. The Parabolic that you win is yours. You get it. It comes to your game wallet, and then you can cash it out to your regular wallet. So this is actual legit. You're getting Parabolic. You're earning Parabolic. If you're in and you got millions and millions of tokens, then you can bet this. And I think there's a cap on how much you can put in at one time on a bet. But if you're really lucky, you can stack your bag just by playing the game. And you do have to pay a little bit of gas when you approve your wallet the first time, and then the transaction to do the transfer in, and then approve, and then transaction to transfer out. You do have to pay gas to interact with the game wallet for the deposit and the withdrawal. This is true. Also, if you lose, so all the funds, when you lose, 50% of it goes back to the game's liquidity pool to keep it healthy. So there's basically 50% goes back this way, and then I believe 50% is burned. There's that, plus there's also the burn, deflationary burn that happens on a routine basis, and other transactional burns. So the game supports not only your ability to increase your bag, but also burn, regular burn, and the liquidity pool for what's going on here. The supply initial on this guy was 1 trillion. It's down to, I want to say, about 600 some odd billion-ish because of all the burn activity that happened
for this. And when there was a peak, and then people kind of tapered off and playing the game. I mentioned the guy Chris. He has so many freaking tokens that, he alone is probably contributing to some of the activity that you see on the graphs, because he has a lot of tokens, and when he plays the game, he's contributing because he tends to lose a lot. So he contributes to some of the burn. But that's the Parabolic game, ParabolicToken.com. Again, I want you to take a look at it, because if it makes sense to you, do take a look and see what they've got going on. I think it's a solid team. I think it's good people. If I had to give any criticism, again, for the game, just for the game, the only criticism I have on the game, I understand why they did it, but I would like to see a mechanic where we can at least say for the first 3 seconds after the project goes live, that we can place a bet. I understand why they didn't, and why they did it the way they did is because they didn't want people to get smart and try to influence the game. But I think the game, I think it's tricky enough that you're not going to be able to get too much if you just do 3 seconds. Just 3 seconds to see where it's going to start moving. Like if I start and it's got nothing but red candles, okay, no problem. Then maybe I don't bet at all. But if it starts and it's got some green and some red, then maybe I'll let it ride, or, take profits or whatever. I just think I would like to see that they make it a little bit more provably fair by saying, the project started. So it's not just a pre-sale where you're blind, but it started and then you buy in off that initial candle so that you can make a strong decision. Because right now it's basically just a raw gamble. It's like you just don't know. Like here, I might just not bother, right? And then I got 3 seconds to decide, and then okay, well then I was smart enough not to even try, because I saw the initial red and I was able to predict. And I think that's why they didn't do it, because certain people might be able to predict, okay, what's going to happen here. Like this Parabolic King Para, I would probably invest in this one. Now watch the candle. Now watch it crap and rug pull. Let's see. That's lasting, or it's trying to, but it's probably running out of liquidity. There you go. So I might have cashed out some profits, and I probably would have still had a loss. So it's not fail safe. Anyway, that's the only main complaint I got on the game itself, is just I'd like to be able to invest when it first runs for like 3 seconds. Let me just put in a bet, just because I think it's more provably fair to do it that way. I guess that's kind of my opinion on that. Second, I don't like having to do a double approval on the wallet. That's a nitpick, but I wish they could figure out how to get rid of the double approval. Like once you do the initial sign, I think they did it for security reasons, but I'd like it to where if you create an account, that's the sign. If I created an account, it is what it is. It's not going to go away because you can't revoke it. So I don't know. That bothers me ever so slightly for me personally. I'd like to see a function to purchase Parabolic from inside the game, because sometimes you might not want to pull it from the wallet. You might just want to purchase it straight to the game for whatever reason, because there's no reflections. So it's not like you're having it in the wallet is doing you much good other than the burn potential profits. And then as far as the project itself, again, they have not done aggressive marketing on that. And I think if they had done some more marketing, I don't want them to go to Schiller's. I'm saying just general marketing. Just say we're here. This is what we're doing. This is our project. We're serious. We're trying to be legitimate. We got utilities. Here's our people. Get out of telescam. I want to see a little bit more ramp up on that. I would really like to see that. The last point I'd make is the other tokens. They have this lofty vision of tying everything into Metaverse. So the idea was that you could spend some of these tokens to, let's say, purchase one of the records from this Mind Music label, or you could listen to the music and use some of the tokens and it would do a burn. And they have this very lofty vision around everything that I think is worth the read. I don't think it's too lofty necessarily, but it feels like there's no unity in the vision. So like when I think of Parabolic token, it does not speak to any of the other tokens, which makes me nervous because it makes me concerned that they may abandon this one. And I think Parabolic is the one that's the strongest of all of them, not because of anything base fundamental other than its code. The contract, I think, is one of the best contracts in the business. And I wouldn't want to see them abandon it in favor of jumping on Metaverse. That's my only thing. I don't want them to stop doing the Metaverse and the music and everything. Go with it. But I think there needs to be more unification of strategy. Tell me how Parabolic ties into the rest of it. For example, the Parabolic token, as people play the game, it contributes to the burn for mine. I don't know, something where it's all unity. I don't see that. I'd like to see that. That I think would resonate a little bit better. Anyhow, hopefully that's been informational, helpful. Game.parabolic.token.com. If you want to check it out, you will need to purchase tokens, and I'm pretty sure it's Binance you would need to do. If you want to check out the game, it's not going to be one of those like WagMe or any of the other ones that's like designed to be fun per se. It's kind of one of those, it's part of what they describe as a future state metaverse casino. So think of it as one of the casino games of other casino games that they're designing to kind of get a sense of the vision that they're thinking of. So it's not your traditional type game. However, if you know casinos like I do, casinos tend to have a lot of interest from people that normally wouldn't be into gaming. You're talking older folks, you're talking a lot of people that would normally never touch a game, but casino gaming just seems to catch them. That's why so many people are doing baccarat and all that kind of stuff. Anyhow, that's all I got, folks. I will check in. Let's see. I got to go to my triad, folks, and I'll check in probably tomorrow because I've got some updates. Do check out our Saitama update. I think it's very intriguing, that one. And we have another update coming with some very interesting information in the crypto space. Tune in for that. Until then,